Greetings, greetings, greetings. Eric Backer, naturopath from New Zealand, author of Candida Crusher. Thanks for checking out my video. I've got a question here from a lady called Ruth Jackson in Florida, in the States. And Ruth is asking me, can vegetarians and vegans do the Candida diet? Of course they can do the Candida diet. They can do anything. They can have jobs. They can even become president. They can do anything they want, you know. Just because that you've cut out, you know, meat sources from your diet, it doesn't really make any difference. However, I want you to bear one thing in mind, Ruth. Many people who eat meat, you know, different kind of meats, often have quite a satisfying, full feeling with that kind of high protein load. If you are particularly a vegan and you eat no animal foods at all, we're talking no eggs, no fish, no chicken, nothing like that, and get your energy primarily from nuts, seeds, grains, and vegetables and fruits, it is going to be harder for you because you're going to be cutting out quite a lot of these foods that are high in sugars that could be giving you energy if you're a vegan. Many vegans, for example, eat lots of grain foods, you know, and these can create a problem. So then they go gluten-free. They chop out wheat. They chop out lots of different foods of their diets. You know? So the more you restrict your diet in terms of carbs and proteins, the more inclined you are to lose weight and get tired and feel washed out. Meat eaters tend to have a much easier time going on a Candida diet or any kind of dietary approach that vegans do. Vegans will have a harder time, particularly when it comes to energy and fatigue. So vegetarians are a little bit different. I mean, everyone's definition of vegetarian is different today. I've got some vegetarians I see as patients that eat all meats except red meat. And they say, oh yes, I'm a vegetarian because I don't eat steak, but I eat fish and chicken. And well, to me, that's not really vegetarian. Vegetarian, to me, it's sort of leaning towards veganism, where you're restricting a lot of these meat proteins. So then we've got lacto-ovo-vegetarians, and we've got piscarians, or people who just eat fish, for example. So, but the more restrictive the diet is in terms of the protein load, as I mentioned, the harder it will be for you to maintain good metabolic function. And the other big concern I have, if you do the Candida diet as a vegan particularly, you're going to be getting into hot water down the track with B12 and iron. Because many vegans lack sufficient B12 and iron, and they get quite weak, tired, and washed out, you know, for that reason. People who have on very restrictive diets like this too may find it much, much harder if they have an adrenal or thyroid issue, because that will really, you know, mean that they're going to have a big issue with fatigue and tiredness by default. So by restricting the diet further, by going into a Candida approach, they're going to have it really hard. So while they can do it, it's almost to me like swimming against the tide. It's going to be very tough. It is possible. Anything's possible, but it's very tough to do that. Okay? So just want you to bear that in mind. You need to find the proteins that suit you well if you're a vegan and stick with them, and be careful about eliminating too many carbohydrates and sweet carbo veggies from your diet, because that could create a big problem. So I hope that answers your question, Ruth. Thanks for tuning in. Click on the link below if you want my Candida report. And thanks for catching up with me.